Today, we want to work with anti-gravity and, of course, the MCP for n8n. So we want to use the MCP for n8n inside anti-gravity to build a web app on top of our n8n workflow. Is that not exciting? But by the way, what is MCP? Model Context Protocol. So before MCP, every AI tool spoke its own language. Each application, database, calendar, CRM needed a custom connection. So if you wanted an AI model to read your mail or to get inside your document, you will need the developer to build an integration every time. But MCP allows us to agree on one standard way to connect to tools and data. Let me break it down. Take, for example, I've got 5 devices. Maybe I use 5 mobile phones, a computer, for whatever I'm using it for. And I will need to carry 5 different, chargers when I need to, step out of the house. If I want to charge my Samsung phone, I will need a Samsung charger. If I need to charge my iPhone, I'll need an iPhone charger. If I need to charge my laptop, maybe I use a Microsoft laptop now, I'll need a particular charger. So MCP, it's like that universal charger that can allow you, in my own case now, to use the same charger for my devices. So I don't need to go out with 5 or 10 or multiple chargers at every point in time. With my universal charger, I can charge my Samsung phone, I can charge my iPhone, I can charge my computer system with the same port. See it as our Type C now. Many new laptops now uses Type C, and of course you've got phones, iPhone. Everybody is kind of aligning to ensuring that we use the same port. That is MCP, but for AI model. So let's come back to what we'll be doing today. Sometimes ago, within our 30 days AI automation, I created this workflow. When you initiate a chat here, it should take the orders, record it in the Excel sheet, and as well create a Google Calendar, do all this for us. So this is what we'll be building. I've built an interface with the chatbot here. So I will chat with it here. We will check what's going on at the back end, and then we'll move to anti-gravity to show you how to build something like this. So let's say I come here, I say hello. It's initiating my workflow, by the way. Look at it here. If I come here now, we are working with this, we are building on this, but people don't need to see our workflow to interact with us. Say I want a meeting for 38 at 10 a.m. to discuss bulk shoes. Don't forget I said we sell shoes. So it's responding based on what is in there. My first name is John, and my email, maybe I put my email there. It needs that to be able to schedule the virtual call, because as per our automation, this is what we want it to do. That's fine. It's responding. I'll say that's fine. We expect it to go ahead and do what? Book a meeting, and as well as record it in the Google Sheet for us. So this is working on top of our workflow that is there. So how do we build something like this? Look at it. It's done. It has scheduled the meeting and everything looks good. So I built this interface for it, and I will show you how to do something like this. So this is what we are going to be kind of doing today. And look at the Google Sheet here. John that I used there, discuss bulk shoe, scheduled business. It recorded it in the Google Sheet, despite the fact that I was interfacing with it right on the application here. And I also said the application should be recording the chat. It's recording my chat here. See, the chat is there. I can view all our discussions as per, for record purposes. So you can build something like this using anti-gravity plus the MCP for anything. So let's move over to anti-gravity first, right? So I said we should install anti-gravity. If you haven't done that, just go to your Google and just search for Google anti-gravity. So this is an application that can allow you talk while you're building a web application or a mobile application. You're writing your text here and you are building something. So when you launch yours and you install, the first thing you will probably see on the screen is to open a folder. It is inside that folder that a particular project, all the codes, all the files that Antigravity will create for that project will be stored. Similar to when a developer is building a website for you, you open a folder, you put everything inside there. And this is cool because you can easily copy the entire folder here, push it to your GitHub or put it to your Vercel and you host your website there. So in our own case, you will see open a folder. I will come to my file here, then I want to open a folder, meaning we're starting a new project. So I can come in here and create a folder. So you can right click here and create a folder and give it a name. But in my own case, I've created this folder. So I want to select Ayinde because the project is for that Ayinde shoe. Then I select the folder. So I'm now inside that folder. Everything Antigravity will be doing now will be stored inside this Ayinde folder. What can I still do here? Look at the sides there. I have new file. If there are contents that I want to give an issue for anti-gravity to work with, I can do that. If I already have my long prompt, I can add it there. If I have like my brand guideline, which is what I'm going to add now, I don't want anti-gravity to just decide on its own and pick a particular color and just use that when building my application. I want to give it my guide, my own specific brand guideline. So if I click on new file now, I'll be able to give it a name. So maybe I want to give it brand guide, then .md, which is for markup. So just to tell it, I want to type my brand guide here. I already have something typed out here. So let me come here. This is my brand guideline. So let's say I copy this. You can play with your ChatGPT or any of the AI to give it what you want and tell it to give you like a brand guide for your application. I'll share this in the newsletter. If you want to modify it for yours, that's fine. So I'll come here and then paste it here. So I have pasted my brand guidelines. When you type anything here, make sure you do Control S or Command S if you're using Mac to save it. So I have saved it. I have my brand MD here. What else do I need to do? We want to connect it to our n8n so that it can see all my workflows that are MCP enabled, and then it will understand the workflow right from here. I don't need to explain what my workflow is all about here. It will understand it by the time we connect it here. So how do we do the connection? If you come to the three dots here, you see the MCP servers. So if I click on MCP servers, you have the MCP store for different applications here, for that, for Firebase, for BigQuery, but there is no default one for anything. We will need to create it and add it here. So you come to the manage MCP servers here, click on that. I have mine already, but don't worry, pretend as if you're not seeing anything here. So how do you add it? You click on this view raw config. Click on it. In your own case, there'll be nothing here, right? Click on it. It's going to be empty. Then you will navigate back to your n8n. So come to your n8n here and you go to the settings here, click on settings, and then you see instance level MCP. You click on instance level MCP and you turn it on and make sure it is enabled. When it is enabled, then you want to click on connect. You want to click on connect. It will show you the authentication and of course the access token. Click on the access token, then refresh the access token that is there by default. Refresh it. Once you click on refresh, you will now copy this configuration JSON. So that's all you need there. You don't even need to understand what is in here. Copy what you have here, just copy it. Then go back to anti-gravity and paste it here. I said this will be empty. You will just click there and paste. Once you paste it, press Ctrl S again or Command S. It is important to save, else it's not going to save it for you. So once you save it, then you're fine. save it, and then go outside of that place and you can now check it out if it is there. So how do you check? Save again, like I said, come back to the manage MCPs here and refresh. Click on the refresh button here. It will refresh and then load n8n MCP configure here for you. So once it is loaded, you will now see three here: search workflows, execute workflow, get workflow. So it is now that your anti-gravity is connected to your n8n. So you have all these three here, meaning anti-gravity can now see what's going on in your n8n. So let's come up here and do back to the agent. So if I come here now, I can say check my n8n workflow, check a specific workflow and tell me what it's all about. I can ask it here. But before we can also do that, all our workflows, we need to enable MCP for them. You can decide and say your MCP should not have access to all your workflows, or you can as well decide which of your workflows that you want your MCP to access. So if I come back here now, I look at my personal where I have all my workflows. If you come to where you have all your workflows, then you can enable the one that should be MCP compliant, that MCP should work with. If you check mine here now, I have customer, which is the one I demonstrated. You have MCP access. But if I want to give MCP access to others, so maybe I just come here and say, click on the three dots and enable MCP access, or anyone you want to enable MCP access. If you're unable to do it from here, don't worry. Just come down to the instance level MCP again, and you will be able to say you want to add it here, and you will see all your workflows that have been added here. You see the workflows that have been added to um, MCP here. Some workflows are probably just inbuilt. They don't have anything to do with MCP access. So you may not see that there. For example, this one also that is communicating with something and a webhook outside. For my WhatsApp is there. For the Telegram, it's there. You see all the workflows that you can enable MCP access for, especially for those with webhook that are communicating with something outside. So you can enable the MCP access, and when you go back to your instance level MCP, you will see all of them that are connected here. Make sure it is connected. Once it is connected, I've connected customer. Don't forget, is the name of the workflow. If I now come here, so this is where you're going to be writing your prompts in Antigravity. You'll be writing your prompts here. And here you have different models. So if you look at it, I've used all my free credits on some of these models. So I'm forced to just use Gemini 3 Flash here, which is not too good when it comes to beautiful designs and serious backend application configuration. So Gemini 3 Pro, you will still have access to that if you are just using it for the first time. So you can stick with Pro High here, which will give you beautiful interface. But if you've used up all that, you can just come down to Gemini 3 Flash, and you can use Claude if you still have your units there. And for you to continue to use this, you can upgrade your plan on Google AI Ultra for Business so that you can use it as long as you want. Then by the side here, you've got planning, you've got fast. Planning means you want anti-gravity to show you its plan. You want it to plan first, and then you will approve the plan before it can continue building for you. Or you want to choose the fast. You just want the agent to continue to execute the task directly for you. But I love planning. Remember, we said it's garbage in, garbage out. I want the agent to be able to show me the plan. I can modify the plan. I can add comment to the plan before he can go ahead and say, I want to do something. Let's test if our n8n MCP is actually working before we even build anything. So here I wanted to say, check if you can access my n8n workflow with the name customers. That is on anything. I just want to ask it if it can actually see it. See, I've initiated, it's checking, it will check whether it's got access to what I have in there. I want it to confirm first before I ask it to build a UI interface for that particular application. I have successfully accessed your n8n environment and found a workflow that matches your description. This workflow appears to be active and is configured as a sales agent for Ayinde Shoes, handling a chat message, a Google Sheet update, and a Google Calendar event. See, would you like me to perform any specific actions with this workflow? We have successfully ticked the first box in that we've connected our n8n to anti-gravity. It understands it now, unlike when I was explaining to manuals for it to understand what we're doing. Now it sees our workflow itself because of the MCP that we've done. It can search our workflow. It can execute our workflow. It can get the workflow details. That's what has been demonstrated for us. So it's asking me, do I want it to perform any specific action? Let's say I want the UI build a web app for that workflow using, I want to mention my brand guide using the brand in brand guide in my file. I want to mention the name brand guide.md in my projects. So you can, I will not write long prompt here. So I can give it enough prompt what I want the web app to be able to do. What else do I want it? Do I want it to do this and do that? I just want it to, run its own course. I just want it to come up with idea for me. I don't want to give it enough context. I want it to just use what is saying and build something there. I want to be able to see the updated um, Google Sheets content in my app, and also info about the meetings from Google calendar, calendar, all on the web app. Just do your thing. Just do your thing. So if I press enter now, I just need to sit down, relax, and then jump in when I need to jump in, and tell the agent what to do if I do not agree with something. Or it can also ask me question. So the agent can ask you to accept certain plans, certain things that it will, kind of come up with. So it will start its own thing. Look at it. One nice thing I love about anti-gravity is they look at it. It said created task and created implementation plan. So if I check up here, I have two tabs there. Implementation plan. It has come up with the implementation plan for our project. That's one. Two, it has also come up with how it will perform its task. It's saying tasks, build an this shoe web app. So it's, listing out the tasks, and as it's doing it, it will be marking the tasks so that it can follow and be sure that, what, I've got everything covered. So it's done that for me. It's waiting for me to accept, or something else. So I accept, guy, continue, build your thing, do your thing. So intermittently, it will be asking me to, intervene. Remember, we mentioned human in the loop. So the agent is on its own trying to come up with something, but once in a while, it will ask you to say, should I do this for you? Should I run this command? Should I go ahead? Then you accept, it will continue. But if you don't want that interruption, which I do not recommend, you can come to the setting here and go to the open anti-gravity setting, There you will be able to tell it, don't ask me question, just proceed every time. But I want to be able to see what it is doing and then jump in if I notice it's not actually doing what I want or what I would love. Then I say no or I accept, and then it can continue. So this is how you use your anti-gravity with anything to build solution. And whatever you are able to build here, you can push it to your GitHub. You can then connect your Vercel to your GitHub, and before you know it, you have a working website built on top of your n8n workflow. So the n8n workflow is working at the background, and in the front, people are interfacing with the beautiful UI interface, and then you've got a fantastic web application, not just information website. So this is our lesson for today. I'll wait for it to complete what it's doing. This time around, we didn't give it enough direction. The one I was able to show you at the beginning of the class, I gave it enough information how the app is going to be built and all that. I've told you how to create your prompt using the prompt generator. I've also shared the n8n GPT with you that you can interact with to come up with your prompt. So you can do your prompt. You can come up here and add another file and say, this is the detailed information about my web app, and tell it here to follow whatever is there when building what it is building. So I will just pause down. I'll wait for it to finish building, and then I'll show you the end results, and that'll be the end for today. So I need you to connect your n8n MCP to anti-gravity, and then you test it out. It becomes easy communicating with your workflow if you've successfully connected your n8n to anti-gravity. Let us note, because I know some of us will probably ask questions. If after copying your JSON from your n8n while trying to manage your MCP and it is still not working, if it is showing you error here, I said you should come in, go to the settings and copy the MCP connection details here. When you do that and it's still not working, just talk to anti-gravity here and say, my connection is not working. Can you fix it for me? It will fix it for you. Just make sure you copy the right thing from there and you put it there. If it is not working, if it needs a kind of fine tuning to work, anti-gravity will do it for you. Just tell it, you know what, help me fix this, it's not working, and it will do that. But make sure you save before it can work. I'll pause. In the next few seconds, I will show you the end result, and then you can see how cool anti-gravity is. This is new. Anti-gravity is new. So you learning how to use this will give you an advantage. So it's cool you're jumping on this right now. Really done now, but one thing is that it may not just, run through the entire thing without having errors. So if after incorporating and it's done working and you are still not getting the desired results, just come in there and prompt it again to, fix whatever the problem is. So it's done now. It has generated a link for me on my local host here for me to be able to check out what has been done. And this is it here. So here I have the AI assistant. This is what it was able to build without even any giving it any information. So here I can then say I want to buy shoes, and it's going to work based on my workflow. It's working on my workflow, and then I can continue my charts here. So this is how you can integrate your anything with anti-gravity. You can still come back here and tell it to build something around it, but we'll just keep it simple for today. Test this out and then share what you think about anti-gravity and then the n8n MCP in the chat. Let's keep the engagement, let's keep it high. This is day 23. We are just 7 days to go. See you tomorrow.